Would you mind introducing yourself?
Lillian O'Reilly. Tara O'Reilly's mother.
What year were you born in?
Oh, now we get
Oh, I'm
personal.
sorry. Okay.
1925.
Okay, good year. That makes you a nice round, almost round age.
A piano key.
Okay.
Hi, Mom. Thanks for the world. You gave us everything. Happy birthday. Love you.
Grandma has always been smart. She always could tell when I didn't wash my hands after using the restroom, even though I said I had. And she outsmarted me every time I said I was hungry. She would say, "Here's an apple," and I would say, "No, thank you." And she would say, "Well, I guess then you're not hungry."
Thanks for never giving up on me. I love you.
My story about Grandma is when we were younger, we'd go out there and visit. Oh, I don't really remember how old I was, but they had these goofy little scooter things, and I was riding one of them up and down the sidewalk there, and I scraped my knee up. Well, I went in and I was just gonna, brush it off, 'cause I was a tough guy and I wasn't gonna worry about it. Grandma said I had to clean it up. Well, we went out to the shower, and I'm not really sure what she used. It might have been steel wool, but she really roughed that old cut around pretty good. Got it clean. The steel wool part might have been made up, but it's a memorable moment. She's took good care of us, so happy birthday, Grandma.
When I was 14 years old, a friend of my brother's wanted to have some sort of a relationship with me, and I was kind of curious about it too. I hadn't had a boyfriend or a suitor at that point, and so I remember my mom allowing us to sit in the living room, and if I remember, I think he put his arm around me, and basically I started to freak out, at least inside, and I excused myself and went and talked to Mom, and I told her what was going on, and I didn't want to do it, and I said, "Mom, help, what shall I do?" And she took care of it. She dispatched him, even though he was a friend of the family, and he continued to be, but maybe a little less frequent of a visit. So that was the end of that. Thanks, Mom, for saving the day, as you did and continue to do many, many times, and making way for better things to come. Thanks, Mom.
So I want to say hi and happy birthday to Lillian, my good friend, my BFF, and wish her all the best for a happy and healthy year. And just to talk about how there was a time back in the early 80s when Lil and I were both living at 218. She was sweet enough to let me stay, and Tom was working in LA, and I was going to UCSB, and it was such a sweet and lovely and great time because we got to be really good friends, and it was really, really wonderful. And I thank her and Tom and everybody for a really wonderful time.
Yeah, otherwise we wouldn't be here.
Happy birthday, Lil. This is Dana wishing you a very merry to one of the loveliest ladies I've ever been able to know. And I appreciate you and your family and hope all the best for you. Bye-bye.
How many kids do you have?
Only 8.
So tell that story. Your youngest finally going off to school.
Kathleen, the youngest, was going off to kindergarten. And I was fortunate in the fact that at Marymount they had all-day kindergarten. because I began to wonder what I would do with her for the rest of the day when all the other kids were in school. So I sent her off to kindergarten, and on the first day I just could not stop smiling.
You couldn't stop smiling on that first day.
Whereas all the other mothers who were probably 20 years younger than I was, they were really sad when their kids went off to school, and I couldn't relate. So I came home and had coffee and read the paper, and I probably did that for a couple of months. It was just so relaxing. Oh dear.
When the first I met you, I'd noticed how your hearing's better than mine, you're quick as a whip, and your repartee is better than mine, and you're a wonderful person. You've seen a lot in your time, and you still have such a sense of humor. From the time you were a little baby in a baby carriage with your brother, lighting a fire under your carriage, to going to the gay movie we saw the other night. You're really quite a woman, Lillian. So happy birthday.
Hi, Grandma. Favorite memory I have of you is times when you'd come out to visit us here in Missouri, and especially one time when we went up to Lake of the Ozarks, and we were swimming up at the lake, and you were having a good time up at the lake when we were there. Another wonderful memory I have is when Christopher and I and Nathaniel as a baby went down to Loring Goes Wilder place. That was a wonderful time, and I was very happy that we could be able to do that with you. And it's always been a joy to be able to do such wonderful things like the Loring Goes Wilder trip, and also going up to Lake of the Ozarks, and then lastly going to the Messners back when you went down to the Messners, and that was a really wonderful time that I had with you, and that was definitely wonderful moments spent with such an awesome grandma.
What I appreciate about Lillian is that she's a very loving mother-in-law, and I needed one of those. And she laughs at my jokes, and she's really nice.
So I don't know. So I asked Mom, you know, well, what was he doing? You know, I mean, what was he? Was he like spitting stuff out or something? Oh, he was going like this.
Go. Hi, Mama. I like the baby. Big new house. Say bye-bye. Bye.
So some of the things with Mom and with Dad is I really think they get a gold star, and Mom in particular, for being incredibly supportive always. It didn't matter what we wanted to do, we were supported. And for me, I wanted to play the piano, and after a lot of years, Mom finally did find a piano for me, and I got to take piano lessons, which was awesome. Well, Mom and Dad, as I said, always very supportive, Mom in particular, and one of the huge ways that Mom helped me was when I had to have surgery and Shaylee was a newborn. They came down. Surgery was the day after Easter. They came down to celebrate Shaylee's first Easter, and then stayed through my surgery. And then Mom actually stayed. We were living in Arizona, and she stayed until I finished my internship, which was at the end of June, and helped us completely pack up and move to Stockton the end of June, beginning of July. And that was really huge. I mean, she basically just gave up her entire life to come and be with me. And I really appreciate that. Thank you, Mom. You're awesome. Love you.
Hi, Grandma. Happy birthday. Hope it's a great one. Wish I could be there. I just wanted to say that you are the greatest grandma that anybody could hope for. And I'm really glad that you're mine. One of the things that's always struck me about you is just how well you attend to the little things in life. And as an example of that, I found this little note that you wrote me. Maybe I was 9 or 10. There's no date on it, but I'm just guessing. And it says, "Dear Christopher, do you have any more riddles for me? I think they are such fun. Get some ready for the next phone call. Thanks so much for the pot holder. That is my favorite type. The heat just doesn't go there. Are you going to make any more linoleum print cards for other occasions? I think you should. They turned out lovely. Do hope your weather is staying good, but not too hot, so the trees and flowers don't begin to bud too soon. It's nice here, but still no rain, and that's bad. Write soon. Love, Grandma." And, you know, it's just a simple note, but it says so much. And I'm really glad you wrote it, and I'm glad I have it. I can read it and think about you. So thank you for being so wonderful. Lots of love. Have a great day.
Now we're going to tell the one about my brother?
Yeah, please do.
Okay. When I was an infant, my brother was pushing me in a baby carriage, and it was a wicker baby carriage.
Was it needed or was it Vicky?
And my father happened to drive by, and he saw that under this wicker carriage was a piece of paper, and it was burning.
Of all things.
My brother apparently was really fascinated with fire, as was proven over the years. So my father,
as
of course,
was proven over the years. We'll have to get to that in a moment. So what happened?
My father, of course, jumped out of the car, and Stan said that was the only time he had ever gotten a spanking from my father, because it was such a serious thing that he had done. End of story.